The word narcissism might be something you've heard before, but did you know that there are misunderstandings about it? In fact, people often have wrong ideas and make things sound more extreme than they are when talking about this subject. Let's try to clear up these myths about narcissism. In the last 20 years, there has been a lot of research on narcissistic personality disorder, and this has led to more discussion about it in public, even though some of that discussion is not entirely accurate. To handle interactions with narcissists effectively, it's important to understand how they think and what drives them. The landscape of beliefs about narcissism is fraught with misunderstanding. Here are some prevailing myths that warrant dismantling. Myth 1: narcissists are always arrogant. Contrary to popular belief, narcissists aren't always characterized by arrogance. While arrogance can certainly be a trait associated with narcissism, it's crucial to understand that narcissism exists on a spectrum. Some narcissists may indeed display overt arrogance and a sense of superiority, but others may conceal their insecurities beneath a facade of self-assuredness. This diversity in narcissistic behavior highlights that not all narcissists fit the same mold. It's essential to recognize that narcissism manifests in various ways, and a person may exhibit narcissistic traits without necessarily coming across as overtly arrogant. Understanding this complexity can lead to a more nuanced perspective on narcissism. Myth 2: narcissists have high self-esteem. Contrary to popular belief, Myth 2 asserts that narcissists possess high self-esteem. However, the reality is quite different. Narcissists frequently conceal their fragile self-esteem behind a facade of confidence and self-assuredness. While they may appear to be self-loving individuals on the surface, their self-esteem is in fact highly vulnerable and reliant on external validation. This means that they constantly seek praise and admiration from others to bolster their self-worth. Beneath the mask of arrogance, insecurity often lurks, making it essential to recognize that narcissists' seemingly high self-esteem is in many cases a superficial defense mechanism rather than a genuine sense of self-worth. Myth 3: narcissists are in love with themselves. Myth 3 suggests that narcissists are enamored with themselves, but the reality is quite different. Narcissists don't truly love themselves; instead, they grapple with profound self-doubt and insecurity. Their apparent self-love is a facade, a coping mechanism known as grandiosity. This inflated self-image helps them shield their fragile self-esteem from criticism and rejection. In essence, narcissists are like actors on a stage, performing a role of self-assuredness to protect themselves from their inner insecurities. So, while they may appear self-absorbed, their self-love is superficial, and beneath the surface, they struggle with profound emotional vulnerabilities. Understanding this aspect of narcissism is vital for addressing and dealing with individuals who exhibit these traits. Myth 4: narcissists are easily recognizable. Myth 4, which claims that narcissists are easily recognizable, is far from the truth. Contrary to popular belief, many narcissists possess a remarkable ability to conceal their narcissistic traits, particularly in social situations. They often come across as charming, charismatic, and highly skilled at adapting their behavior to the context. This facade can make it incredibly challenging for others to identify the underlying narcissistic tendencies. It's important to remember that narcissism exists on a spectrum, and while some individuals may display more obvious signs, others excel at maintaining a facade, making it essential to look beyond surface appearances when assessing someone's true nature. Myth 5: narcissism is always harmful. Contrary to the belief that narcissism is inherently detrimental, this myth overlooks the nuanced nature of narcissistic traits. While extreme narcissism can indeed harm relationships and personal well-being due to its self-centered and manipulative tendencies, not all narcissistic traits are destructive. In moderation, certain narcissistic qualities like self-confidence and ambition can be adaptive, propelling individuals towards success and achievement. It's crucial to distinguish between healthy self-esteem and the toxic, pathological narcissism that causes harm. Thus, understanding the spectrum of narcissism helps us appreciate that it can manifest in both beneficial and detrimental ways, depending on its intensity and how it is managed. Myth 6. Narcissists cannot change. Myth 6, which claims that narcissists cannot change, is a common misconception about narcissism. While it's undeniably challenging, it's essential to recognize that narcissistic individuals can indeed change with the right approach. Therapy and self-awareness play pivotal roles in facilitating this transformation. Through therapy, narcissists can gain insights into their behavior, uncover the underlying insecurities that drive their narcissistic traits, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Self-awareness helps them recognize the impact of their actions on others and fosters empathy. While change may not be rapid or complete, it is possible for narcissists to evolve and cultivate more positive, empathetic, and harmonious relationships when they commit to the process. Myth 7. Narcissists are inherently evil. Myth 7, which portrays narcissists as inherently evil, is a common misconception. While it's true that narcissists can exhibit hurtful behaviors, it's essential to recognize that their actions are not typically driven by malicious intent. Instead, their behavior often arises from deep-seated inner turmoil and insecurity. Narcissists may employ defense mechanisms like grandiosity and manipulation as coping strategies to shield themselves from their fragile self-esteem and emotional vulnerabilities. Understanding this distinction is crucial because it allows us to approach narcissistic individuals with empathy and encourages the possibility of therapeutic intervention to address their underlying issues, potentially leading to personal growth and healthier behaviors. Myth 8. Narcissism is gender-specific. This myth suggests that narcissism is more prevalent in one gender over the other. However, in reality, narcissism is not confined to a specific gender. It can affect individuals of all genders. Narcissism is a personality trait or disorder characterized by excessive self-focus, a lack of empathy, and a need for admiration. These traits can manifest in anyone, regardless of their gender. It's essential to recognize that the prevalence of narcissism is not determined by gender but by a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and psychological factors. Stereotyping narcissism based on gender oversimplifies a complex psychological phenomenon and can perpetuate misunderstandings about it. Myth 9. Narcissists are always successful. Myth 9, which claims that narcissists are always successful, is a common misconception. While it's true that some narcissists may achieve success in certain areas of their lives, it's essential to recognize that their interpersonal difficulties can be significant obstacles. Narcissists often struggle with maintaining healthy relationships and teamwork due to their self-centeredness, lack of empathy, and manipulation tendencies. These issues can hinder their professional and personal growth, leading to conflicts and isolation. So, while some narcissists may attain success, it's far from a universal trait, and their underlying personality traits can often impede their overall well-being and achievements. Myth 10. Narcissists cannot have healthy relationships. Myth 10, which claims that narcissists cannot have healthy relationships, is not entirely accurate. While it's true that narcissistic traits can make forming and maintaining relationships challenging, it's not an absolute barrier to healthy connections. Through therapy and sincere self-improvement endeavors, some narcissists can learn to manage their behavior, develop empathy, and establish more balanced and fulfilling relationships. It's important to recognize that narcissism exists on a spectrum, and not all narcissists are the same. While it may be a difficult journey, with the right support and willingness to change, individuals with narcissistic traits can indeed foster healthier, more harmonious relationships. Myth 11. Narcissists are all alike. Myth 11, which claims that all narcissists are alike, is a misconception. In reality, narcissism is a complex personality trait that presents uniquely in each individual. While there are common traits associated with narcissism, such as a need for admiration and a lack of empathy, the way these traits manifest and the severity of their impact can vary greatly. Some narcissists may be more overt and exhibit grandiosity, while others may display covert behaviors like manipulation and victimhood. Blanket judgments can be misleading and unhelpful, as understanding the nuances of narcissism is essential for effectively dealing with individuals who exhibit these traits and promoting healthier relationships and interactions. And there you have it. These 11 common myths about narcissism have been debunked. Remember, understanding narcissism is crucial, but let's ensure we base our knowledge on accurate information. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more enlightening content. Thanks for tuning in.